So Bernie Sanders and Bill Kristol went at it on Twitter. It started with Bill Kristol tweeting #NeverSanders. I think he was doing that in response to a story about how Bernie said, I'm not going to apologize for opposing the war in Vietnam. I'm not going to apologize for opposing, the overwhelming majority of post-World War II U.S. interventions, because I think we shouldn't have done them. I think they were illegal. I think they were offensive. And I'm not cool with that. And it all started because there was this New York Times article which went after Bernie for... It was hilarious because they were saying he has an anti-American foreign policy. And Bernie was basically like scoffing at the person asking him the questions. And he's like, fuck are you talking about? Like, no, I just don't think we should do illegal and offensive wars. Duh, this isn't that hard. And so the New York Times tried to play gotcha with him, and he shut him down. And then that became a story in and of itself. And that's when Bill Kristol got involved and said #NeverSanders. And Bernie responded by saying this, look, you see it there underneath Kristol. Have you apologized to the nation for your foolish advocacy of the Iraq war? I make no apologies for opposing it. Damn, son. Get his ass, Dad. Get his ass. And then Bill Kristol responded, nope. I dislike quasi-Stalinist demands for apologies. Quasi-Stalinist. I've defended and will defend my views on Iraq and Syria and Milosevic and the Soviet Union and more, as you defend yours. How about a real debate on U.S. foreign policy? I'll ask for no apologies. On a campus this fall? He's a little busy running for president. Fucking Bill Kristol. Who are you, man? Jesus Christ. Just so everybody knows, Bill Kristol was one of the people who I floated to Politicon saying, hey, listen, I'll debate him. Does he want to debate? Because remember, I was supposed to debate Ann Coulter. Then Ann Coulter backed out of the debate. And then after she backed out of the debate, went on some, LA show and was saying how, no, everybody on the left is afraid to debate me. You just backed out of a debate with me. What the fuck are you talking about? And so I was in contact with Politicon, and I floated. They were like, we got to find somebody else for you to debate. And I made this list of all these people who I would debate. Bill Kristol was on that list. You know what I heard back? Bupkis. Nothing. Now, to be fair to him, he's ancient, and he probably just doesn't know who I am, so he may have just said no to that. But I find it hilarious that, like, if people thought I was punching above my weight by going after Bill Kristol, first of all, LOL, that's not even close to true. But second of all, look at what he's doing. Bernie, debate me, Bernie. Debate me. Bill, dog, you don't want that, son. You don't want this heat. You don't want this heat. So that's hilarious. Quasi-Stalinist, he said. I just like quasi-Stalinist demands for apologies. These guys have nothing when it comes to Bernie. All they have is like, you like Venezuela, don't you? You like Venezuela? I bet you like Venezuela. Oh, you like the Soviet Union? Is that what you like? You like Soviet Union? You like Stalin? Is that what you like? Or you like Pol Pot? See, Bernie wants to be like Stalin, and he wants the U.S. to be like Soviet Union and Venezuela. I'm not strawmanning at all. That's why it's so... even when I first started getting into politics, I kind of realized very quickly how vapid the far right seems to be, because it's like they never engage honestly. It's always like, I'm going to tell you what you believe, even if you don't believe that. I'm going to tell you what you believe to make myself feel like I just owned you and slapped it down real quick. Slap down your entire ideology in like 2 lines. And it's like, are you even remotely intellectually curious? Or is all you want to do is like virtue signal in your own bubble and sniff your own farts and act like you're like really special because you just called Bernie quasi-Stalinist? It's just so stupid. But anyway, Bill Kristol has a prediction record that's been spectacularly wrong throughout history. In fact, I'm not sure he's ever gotten anything right. I mean, this is a dude who was saying like peak Trump. Have we reached peak Trump yet? He was saying Trump would never win a debate. He won a debate. He was saying Trump would never win a caucus or a primary. He won caucuses and primaries. He was saying there's no way he gets the nomination. He got the nomination. And he said there's no way he's going to get elected president. He got elected president. And this is all just ancillary Bill Kristol wrongness. Peak Bill Kristol wrongness is obviously the Iraq War. He's a fucking architect of the Iraq War. He believes in illegal offensive invasions. He sold the war based on lies. To be fair, I don't know if he lied on purpose or if he's just so stupid he actually believed the garbage that was coming out of his mouth. But The Intercept responded to Bill Kristol taking shots at Bernie Sanders by going into the archives and seeing, just how good Bill Kristol's been on foreign policy. Because, again, hilariously, he's saying to Bernie, debate me on foreign policy, bro. Debate me on foreign policy. How can you, this dude is saying, debate me on foreign policy. It's pretty much impossible to wrap your mind around how delusional you have to be to think you have a leg to stand on when you've said shit like this.
I would be shocked if we don't find weapons of mass destruction, and I think that is one of the main rationales for the war. I expect us to find them, and I think if we don't find them, that would undercut in part the rationale for the war. But obviously, that would be a great blow if Saddam has not been developing weapons of mass destruction. I would agree that if after the war we aren't treated more or less as a liberating force, then that would also be a rebuke to the Bush administration, to those of us who counseled that this war was just and necessary. This was I accept the possibility that I'm wrong. We need to follow through and be serious about helping the Iraqi people rebuild their country and about helping promote a decent democratic government in Iraq. It would be a much less morally satisfying and fully defensible war if we don't follow through as we should. I'm happy to be held to a moral standard. I ask that it be a serious moral standard.
You make it too easy, dog. You make it too easy. Every prediction he's ever made about the Iraq War was dead wrong. And he said, sure, I could be wrong. But today he still defends every single thing he said. I have to say, it is an indictment on how terrible our mainstream media is that a guy like Bill Kristol is allowed on TV nowadays. He should be universally viewed as, at best, a total fucking moron. At worst, a war criminal. But he should be universally viewed that way, and various mainstream media outlets should be embarrassed to let this guy anywhere near a camera. But they don't. They let him on, and they're happy about it. And now I think it's with MSNBC he's usually on, and the reason why he's on MSNBC is because corporatists love nothing more than never Trump Republicans. Because it's got the veneer of respectability in today's day and age because he's against Trump. He doesn't like Trump. He must be a good person. So it's that plus the fact that he obviously is still a massive right-winger and is still, in favor of our oligarchy and in favor of illegal and offensive invasions. So he gets the benefits of being totally for the status quo while also being totally anti-Trump. And that's why they love him. And that's why they can't have enough of the anti-Trump Republicans on TV. If you did an analysis of what percentage of people that go on mainstream media are never Trump Republicans, you'll find that number is just way more than a representative sample. So in other words, never Trump Republicans, that's less than 10% of the Republican Party, but half of the voices that are on MSNBC and CNN are never Trump Republicans. It just gives you this misleading picture about where the Republican Party is in terms of their love of Trump. But I digress from that. Bill Kristol going after Bernie Sanders on the issue of foreign policy is beyond embarrassing, and props to Bernie for calling his ass out. I want to see more of this. Because this was big news and everybody was on Bernie's side. Because you can't help it when you're forced to pick. In other words, even the like pro-Hillary Clinton faction of Democrats, as small as they are, even they were like, oh, come on, Bill Kristol, the fuck? I mean, all he's saying is Vietnam was bad and Iraq was bad. This isn't really debatable. So this is great because it's Bernie going after people who deserve it. He's right on the substance, and like I said, it almost unifies different factions of the left in a way that maybe people thought wasn't even possible.